there. It's me, Purpose Ann, back again today with some content in regards to the effects of natural disasters, how it affects our money and how it affects our food supply. I didn't get to come on yesterday. Everything yesterday was pre-recorded. I recorded those videos actually a day or so before, the tornado. So I hope all the viewers, if you were in the areas of the tornadoes, please comment. Please let me know that you're okay. I'm very concerned about you guys and praying for all of us who were in the way of those crazy, erratic storms. I hope that you guys made it through it and that you're still prepping. We have to keep prepping. So please comment and let me know, if you don't mind, that you guys made it through the storms and whatnot. So, I'd like to briefly talk about the effects on what these natural disasters, what they do to our life, what they do to our mind, what they do to our money, and how they affect our food supply. And this is why it's very important to continue to prep. This is why it's important to plant some seeds and start a garden. This is why it's important when you go into the grocery store to get a little bit extra, as far as your preps are concerned, because it affects the food prices. And you guys, I think we're heading for a time where the food is going to be so high so people cannot afford to buy food. So while the prices are rising now on food, so if you can, go ahead and start storing you enough food as you possibly can. Even if you have to get some a little bit every week, or get a bag of beans, a bag of rice, a canned good here, a canned good there, or some tuna fish. Every time you go to the store, every time I go to the store, and I said that I probably need to stop for a little while, that's only because I have like years supply of food. And I'm relocating, and I'm like, I got to pack all this stuff, but I'll figure that out. But I'm saying that every time you go to the store, you guys will be amazed how it accumulates, how it accrues over time. Every time you go to the store, even if you just get 1 or 2 cans of tuna fish, like tuna fish right now, it's anywhere from 69 cents to like 98 cents or something like that. That's here in the South. Out there in New York, that's a whole nother ball game, because I priced the tuna fish up there in New York. It was like $1 something, almost $2 when it comes to taxes for 1 can. So if you're in the South or wherever you are, you can get you some tuna fish. Every time I go to the store, I get a couple of cans of tuna fish. I get me a small little bag of beans, a small little bag of rice, and I get me a bottle of Clorox. And from years of doing that, on top of all the big heavy supply of, the 50-pound bags of beans and rice I have, it has grown tremendously. And I'm grateful to have done that, because now we're facing times where food prices are increasing, lumber prices are increasing. This Texas winter storm, the price on lumber is off the roof now. Not just here in Texas and Tennessee. I heard MD Creekmore talking about another prepper here on YouTube. He was explaining how he wanted to add like a shed or something on his property, and he went to go price the lumber, and now he said like a couple years ago it was only like $4,000. I think a little shed house, he said now it's like $7,000. Everything is just so high, and they blame it on these weather-related events and on the pandemic. So if I was you guys, things that you really, really need, if you can or when you can, go ahead and start getting those things now, because the prices of everything is increasing, and especially the prices of food. Not only food, but what it does to our money. These weather-related crises, what it does to your money. So many people, unfortunately, in low-income areas, and other areas as well, but I'm really speaking on the low-income areas, because this really, it touches me, it hurts me to see so many people going through this. They were already struggling. Even the ones who owned their properties that was passed down from their families, and those who did not. After that winter storm, and other storm-related events that have occurred, the pipes busted, the roof caved in their house, and then it's hard to find a plumber. It's hard to get the supplies you need if you don't have the money. FEMA not coming in to help anybody like that. They're saying if you got to have insurance. A lot of these people don't have insurance because they barely have money to get by. You guys, it will take a toll. This one lady, she has money, and during Harvey, her house was destroyed. Why they continue to build on these properties and renovate in an area that's flooded, I will never know. Especially out here in Houston, because all it's going to do is flood again. And you're going to have to go right back and try to rehab the place and all this type of stuff. She said for Harvey, she spent over $100,000 in repairs. And she said the insurance just not paying out, 3-4 years later from the Harvey incident. 4 years later, 3.5 years later, the insurance just not paying out. And she said they didn't even give her half of the money that she put into it. She came out of her pocket for that. And then now she's saying with this storm, this last storm, this Texas storm, she had pipes bursting, stuff busting all in her house. She said it's going to cost her another over $100,000 that she's going to have to pay out of her pocket. So then the toll that it has on our mind, that's why I always iterate to work out, do some type of yoga, some type of form of exercising, so you will be less stressful. Because as long as we're breathing and living in this world, we are going to continuously go through things. And when you're living in areas like I do, where there's always a storm, it's always a flood, it's always a hurricane, you have to keep your mind and you have to keep your body right. So I put up some information and some references on the internet in regards to how these storms affect us. They said tornadoes result in significant economic losses that can be classified as direct losses or indirect losses. Direct losses are the result of the destruction of assets and the resulting decrease in value or the loss of income as a result of destroyed assets. That's another thing. When these storms happen, you lose time from work. You can't get to your job. I know during the Texas winter storm that just happened last month, it was freezing. It was cold, but it was ice all on the road. So people couldn't get to work for at least 3 or 4 days until the ice melted. And then people who were online couldn't work because there was no energy. The lights were out. So, the effects in as far as that nature is concerned. Now, how does natural disasters affect the food supply? The most significant effect a natural disaster can cause in a short-term price increase as the food supply chain adjusts to disruptions in availability or transportation. The trucks can even get through. They cannot get to the city, to Houston, during any of these storm-related events. And y'all saw the shelves. I showed it to you. Y'all can go back and look at the videos. All the empty shelves. And then they saying that even with our food supply, the trucks, it's like a just-in-time situation. So it's not like these places have food stocked for years and years. They depend on the trucks and, that form of transportation to get in a certain period of time to restock these shelves. And now that people are starting to prep, so that's taking a lot of the food supply as well. So it's just, and it says the most immediate impact of erratic rainfall as far as flooding, because we go through a lot of floods, even after tornadoes and the hurricanes, it's a lot of flooding. The most immediate impact of erratic rainfall on rural livelihoods is on crop production. Droughts and floods undermine farm yields and the national harvest, reducing household and national food availability and agricultural income derived from crop sales. So we see how this affects our whole chain of living. Okay, and so it goes on to say the natural disasters, it affects the food production and availability, the access, the quality, the utilization, and stability of food systems. In short, it impacts all aspects of the food system. Extreme weather-related disasters are increasing and reduce the yields of major crops. Higher levels of CO2 reduce the nutritional value of crops. So many crops, so many animals were destroyed just in this Texas winter storm. Just in this Texas winter storm. And I can't speak for all the other weather-related crises. So we have some serious problems, you guys. I mean, serious, serious, serious problems. And if we don't prep, and if we don't plant these seeds, and if you cannot afford, because the seeds in the store, y'all see I just bought some seeds. It's going to be the next video or the video before this. I don't know which one I'm going to release first, but I bought seeds at Home Depot. Those seeds are getting higher and higher. They're like $2 a pack. When you go to the grocery store, there's seeds in the produce that you're already buying now. If you're buying tomatoes, there's seeds in tomatoes. You can learn how to grow tomatoes from those seeds. You buying watermelons, there's seeds in the watermelons, there's seeds in the avocados. There's onions. They might have seeds in the onions, but you can cut off. You have to look at the YouTube videos. It's a part of the onion you cut off, and then you put it in water. It's going to sprout, and it goes to, what do you call it? I don't know. I'm having a brain for it. But the roots, okay? It grows roots, and then you could plant it after a week or two. So all kinds of vegetables. Green onions. I grow green onions all the time. Not only I have the seeds, but you get them from the store. Green onions grow faster than anything. I'm telling you, you could take that green onion, you cut it, you leave the bottom where you say, "Well, how come I can't think of what this is?" What you plant, and it grows so fast. It grows so fast. I don't know why I can't think. I'm having a brain. I do these videos early in the morning. So when you go to your grocery store and your apples, you have seeds in apples, seeds in avocados, seeds in oranges. When you guys go and get your produce, you could take the seeds from out of your produce, and you could grow it that way. So yeah, y'all excuse me. I'm having a brain. They call it a brain fart. So you guys, so just let's prepare ourselves for what lies now and what lies ahead, and continuously watch the weather. Watch the weather. And I'm not just talking about your local meteorologist, because they're not going to tell you ahead of time. Watch Weatherman Plus. He's really good, and he's very informative, and he does a video every single day. So I recommend him because I watch him, and I also watch David Slodhauer. Weatherman Plus, he's been on there for a while. So you guys, y'all take care, and be blessed and not stressed. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Are you guys noticing an increase on the food prices? Let me know how you also panned out during this last storm that was just here. And what are some of the things you do every time you go to the grocery store? And yeah, let's just talk about it. If you guys like this comment, I don't know what's wrong with my mind this morning. If you guys like this comment, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. You can also hit that bell notification so you know every time I upload. I try to do 2 or 3 videos a day. And if not, just at least one a day. And yeah, you can get some of your prep needs from zanharrold.com. You don't ever have to get anything from me, but just make sure that you get it. Until next time, keep surviving. zanharrold.com.